Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Spring Porter with Spring Solutions LLC. In this video, I am going over the electronic fund transfers that I received from the two deals that I went over recently. One is coming from the Northern District of Mississippi, and the other one is in the District of New Jersey. So if you're interested in hearing about those two payouts, please stay tuned. Please note that I am not an attorney. This information is not indicated as legal advice. So first things first, if you're new to my channel, thank you for tuning in. I deal with bankruptcy unclaimed funds. On occasion, you will get an electronic fund transfer. Those funds go directly to your business checking account, which is so nice. You don't have to run and chase after your clients or even go to the bank to deposit them, which is nice. There are lots of districts that will pay you directly, but they'll pay you in the form of a check, right? But either way, it's always nice when you get paid first. So the first deal that I'm going to talk about is the one that was deceased claim that I did in New Jersey. I've worked in New Jersey before. I had a good handle on their documents, but this one was slightly different because I'm dealing with a deceased claim and probate documents, and all that was a little bit different. But this for $6,791.63. The husband died. The wife is the one who worked with me. The deadline was set for objections on the 1st of September. Nobody objected. That deadline is typically set automatically by the court in most districts. You don't see anybody objecting. All you see basically is my entries for the documents. And then on the 2nd, the day after the objection deadline, the court granted my funds go to me, which is really nice. And it came in an EFT payment basically in my account today. So overall, I really liked working. This particular district with deceased claims was pretty simple. Because of this deal and it was, granted, I was able to update my program. This is the $500 program where I utilize these methods. This particular deal is in the $500 program under less than 10 so that you can see how I filled it out, what I wrote, what form that I need from probate court. I go over that, and all of that is listed there if you're interested. I would say try New Jersey. They're pretty easy. They're pretty fast, pretty straightforward if you ask me. So the next deal is coming from the Northern District of Mississippi. This is a new state that I've worked in. Really fast. I mean, typically we think of the South as a little bit slower, a little bit more conservative with their processing. This worked really quickly. I filed the documents on the 29th of August, and then I got an order on the 31st of August, and I got the funds today. Now, I don't remember or recall seeing an objection deadline. If they do follow it, they may not write it out in that district. So, I mean, it worked really fast. Let's see, this is probably maybe the Western District of Missouri is also one that I received an order really quickly. Every district is just slightly different. Add this to the ones that's easier to work in my opinion. I'm going to be doing an updated video on payout times and all of that, and which district, how fast they work, based on the ones that I have gotten a hold of, and based on maybe some of my students who've worked in different districts than I'll put an updated video on those soon. So basically, this particular deal in Mississippi, again, individual creditor, the company he worked for years ago didn't pay all his PTO time. They filed bankruptcy, so he filed a claim, and this is basically a portion of that. So it worked, extremely fast. This is the order itself. And here you see the judge's signature and seal. Both of these totally different states, but because I processed them during the same time, I got the payout in the same day, both EFT payments and coming from different districts. And I'm in Maryland, but one is in New Jersey and one is in Mississippi. So I'm just showing you that you can do this in different states and you can still get paid in a form of an EFT payment, which is really nice. So, that's basically what I wanted to say. I also wanted to just kind of go over creditors. You do have to transfer the claim to you before you do the process. That's $26. I do show you that in the course. Now, I do go over individual creditors. Like I go after them myself. I had individual creditors before. I don't like to work with larger companies that are creditors typically because you have to go through a lot of red tape. Trying to find the right person on the phone, speaking to the collection department, leaving messages. I mean, there are a lot Wells Fargo's out there. There are a lot of PNC banks and all those claims, but you're trying to find one person on the phone that knows what you're talking about and that can give you the authority to sign papers. That's a little bit tricky. You can still do it. You just have to be diligent in doing that. I would rather go after smaller mom and pop stores and also maybe like individual creditors because it's just easier to reach them in my opinion. I will show you the payouts now. Please stay tuned. Okay, so in this slide, I am going over the basically the payout part. I'm showing you the screenshot of my business checking account. I do bank with M&T. I have a business checking account with them. I have not had any issues with depositing checks or receiving EFT payments. M&T, in my opinion, works really well with like small business owners like myself. You have to pick a bank that works well with you. Let them know and let them be aware of how you're getting your money so that they don't place like a hold because they think it looks weird. These funds are coming from the Treasury Department. They can see that. They see the checks. And also, the Treasury has a specific code that they use when they're putting in the EFT payments. So if I go back tomorrow and I look at this deposit under the description box, it will have code like US Treasury. It may have a social security number from your client, or it may have like a case number from the bankruptcy case. So just that's what I mean when I'm saying redacting. In the previous video that I spoke about redaction, those are the types of things that you're going to want to redact when you're trying to put this information out there so that people can work with you. All right, so 679-163, that's the one from New Jersey. The other one, 317247, is coming out of Mississippi. So make sure you keep good records. Let's say I had 4 other credits pending and I had like 4 deals at one time and I didn't write anything down. You don't keep up your CRM. You don't know who's getting what back, what percent, what you're supposed to get back. You don't want to do that. You always want to be organized. You want to know who's getting what back, what percent you charge, so that you can easily write out their check for them and you send them their payment. Do things in the proper way and do it in a timely fashion. Don't just sit and wait on the check because it's like, oh, you like seeing that much money in your bank account. Because here it is, I have 11,000 more than I had before in my business checking account. Don't be tempted. Let's say you do this and you have some that are well over. They add up and they total $20,000 or $30,000 at once. You have that much money in your business checking account at one time for the first time. Don't be tempted to say, oh, I'm going to go to Europe. I'm going to book a cruise. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to Brazil. I've always wanted to go to the Andes Mountains. Don't do that. Make sure that you pay your client. You don't want to get sued by your clients because you're not paying them. And you don't want to get in trouble with the U.S. Attorney's Office. What if people get whiffed of you not paying what you're supposed to pay? They could ban you from working in that particular state. And they could also fine you. So you don't want to do that. Always make sure you're paying people what they're supposed to get paid. Do the right thing in your business. And then other people will be willing to work with you, right? You don't want somebody to leave a really nasty review on Yelp. Hey, this person took all of my funds. They didn't return any money. Like, don't do that. Do the right thing because you will probably not get another chance if you screw someone over. So don't do that. So 6791, the payout I got was $2,500 for the deceased claim. I asked for 36.8%. 317247, I asked for 20% of that, so I got $650. So that totals to about $31.50 that I received for my payout for this. Not bad. That is a monthly salary for some folks. You want to keep in mind that there are no caps or percentages and finder fees for bankruptcy unclaimed funds. You can charge what you and the client agree to. I know that's different than state funds. So if you're coming from state funds, you have to kind of get that portion out of your mind when you're dealing with bankruptcy unclaimed funds, because the percentages don't really exist. It's what you and the client agree to. It's nowhere in the bankruptcy code finder fee percentages. There's no on any of the bankruptcy court websites. They don't mention what the finder fee caps are because there aren't any. And you can research that yourself. So I'm just letting you know that that's basically what that is. So now I am tasked with writing out my checks to each of these 2 clients and making sure they get their portion. And this is the fun part of my day where I'm like, hey, your money came in. I'm sending this to you in the mail. Thanks for working with me. That is always a good feeling, that when you're able to kind of bless somebody back. So I hope that this video is helpful. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already. If you're interested in the $500 program, the link is in the description box. If you have any questions, please email me at springsolutionsllc@gmail.com. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.